Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day, and today we are here with a Mithril Dragon Slayer guide for old school Runescape in my endless adventure to make as many Slayer guides or just guides as possible. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, make sure to leave a like. Also, plenty of places you could check me out and support me down below if you would like to, and I'd appreciate it greatly if you did. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into the guide. So to start, should you kill Mithril Dragons? In my opinion, I think so. As far as a task goes, they are a profitable task, and they're also a quick task, so I mean, there's really no lose there. The only downside is they are relatively hard to kill, so getting into that, the requirements are 80 plus in whatever combat style you're going to come here with. That's what I'd recommend more, so you could come here with less, of course. And you're also going to need the Barbarian Firemaking training to be completed as well. So some pretty high requirements, and so I'd say that's the real barrier of entry to this task. Once you are able to kill them at a somewhat adequate rate, beyond that, it's a very easy task, one that I actually enjoy quite a lot. Mithril Dragons are not weak to anything really, but their biggest weakness is to stab-based weapons. Also, Dragon Hunter weapons are going to be really good here. That's universal for dragons. But they have pretty high defense, so you'll have to keep that in mind. For the Mithril Dragons attack style, they use everything, so melee, range, mage, fire, they use it all. You gotta be ready. For all these setups, you'll be bringing one main form of defense, and then along with that, you'll be praying another version of defense, so you'll only be really susceptible to one attack style at any time. However, you do have to prepare for all of them. And Mithril Dragons can max a 28 or a 50 if you are not adequately protected from fire. So pretty big max hit again here. That is why we're going to be having some pretty good defensive armor and also be praying, because the max hit can, kind of do you in. Loot wise, in terms of what you could potentially expect to see, the first one is a 1 in 32,000 drop rate of a Dragon Full Helm. At the moment, I believe it's worth 50 to 60 mil. Yep, currently sitting at 53 mil, so pretty pricey. Obviously, not very likely that you'll get that, but something you could only dream about. Beyond that, the Draconic Visage is a 1 in 10,000 drop, which isn't really worth all that much nowadays, and the overall drop per kill is a little bit over 10,000 GP, so they are pretty profitable. I took out like the Mithril bars and the little nonsense drops, so you might not be picking up, and still about 10k per kill, so really nice in terms of the loot that you could potentially get, and really fun for that Dragon Full Helm drop. I've never even gotten close to getting one. I don't kill enough of these, but it would just be a god tier drop to see on the ground. I couldn't even imagine. So getting into the gear setups here, for the melee options, we have 3 different setups down below that you can go ahead and peek at. The main attributes that you want to worry about here are the protection prayers and what type of anti-fires you'll be drinking, so I have those listed there. For the left 2 setups, you'll want to be using Protect from Melee, because that is going to be better since you have a lot of magic defensive gear with the D-Hide and the Carols. And then for the right-handed setup, you're going to be using Protect from Magic, since that is a more melee defensive-based setup. Beyond that, the far left-hand side, you only have to bring a regular anti-fire potion, since you are using a Dragon Fire Shield. For the other 2 setups that have defenders, you'll have to bring the super anti-fire version of that potion as well. Everything's listed down there that you can go ahead and give a peek at, essentially just trying to boost our stab bonus along with our melee DPS, while at the same time bringing some pretty good defensive gear, because as I mentioned earlier, Mithril Dragons, they do a decent bit of damage, so you want to be prepared for that. Then for the range options here down below, 3 more setups, each one leveling up as you move over to the right hand side of the screen. On the far left hand side, a nice God D-Hide setup along with the Dragon Crossbow. In the middle, Armadillo Crossbow along with the Carol setup, and then on the far right, a Dragon Hunter Crossbow, Armadillo, basically a maxed out setup there on the right hand side. All of these are going to be good for ranging bonuses, on top of that maging and defensive bonuses as well, so that's going to be a good attribute for here. Since we'll be standing at a distance and we have a good magic defensive gear, we're going to want to protect range, and also along with that we'll be using the regular anti-fire, considering all of these setups have a shield slot that actually does soak up fire-based damage. Beyond that, you can bring ruby diamond bolts or just regular ruby bolts if you'd like. These are good at the beginning of kills because you can get really high hits with the special attack. However, once the Mithril Dragon drops to about half health, a little bit below that, then you'll want to switch on over to the Diamond Bolts E. And then finally, a couple mage setups here if you want to go ahead and bring them. Personally, I don't recommend mage, but you can use it if you'd like, or if your account is more advanced in a magic sense. Both of the setups down below, though, really good in terms of the mage DPS output that we'll have there. Defensively, you're going to want to protect range, and you'll also need a super anti-fire for both of these setups, considering we don't have any shield slot that is protecting us from fire in any way. As far as where we'll need to go, we will need to make our way to this little ancient cavern whirlpool that you can find near Otto's Grotto over here, along with the Barbarian area right up here. Most of the time I list a bunch of different options for you to go ahead and get here, but the best way is going to be just through the Games Necklace teleport that everyone will have available to them, whether or not you buy it from the GE or you make one on your own. Everyone can get here. You could also use a minigame teleport if you really wanted to, but beyond that, for the inventory, it's a pretty simple one. I'm bringing a house teleport because in my house there is a teleport to get here as well, so it acts as an escape and an entry point to this task. Divine Super Combat because it's a nice super combat potion that allows your stats to stay higher longer. Extended Super Anti-Fire, since I'm coming here with a Avernic Defender. If you have some sort of anti-dragon shield, you won't be needing that. You can just bring the regular anti-fire. And then beyond that, I have 5 prayer potions and some sharks. You can kind of tinker with the inventory depending on what you see fit. Also of note, if you are coming here with range or mage, honestly, the only thing you're going to have to swap out is whatever boosting potion you're going to come here with. So maybe a range potion or an imbued heart. On top of that, ruby bolts if you're going to bring them with a range setup, and a rune pouch if you're going to come here with a mage setup. But once you've made your way on over to the Barbarian Assault area, just run south a little bit, and as you get up to the Fishing and Barbarian area, then you'll find this whirlpool. If you hop on the dock right here, then you can go ahead and dive on in, and from there you'll be somewhat close to the Mithril Dragons, just a little ways to go. Once you're down here, just go down the stairs. You'll find some dragons right here, so make sure to use your super extended anti-fire and continue on to these stairs. And at these stairs, once you go up, then you will find the Mithril Dragons, the only location that they're at in game. Once you're up here, depending on what you have to pray, go ahead and pray that, and then just get to killing. It really isn't too bad in terms of once you have the entire setup and all of that going. They don't have a lot of special attacks or anything that you can really focus on. You'll just be getting dealt, honestly, a lot of damage. Personally, I'm on a pretty high level account that has max gear and really good stuff, so not flexing, just saying that this isn't an adequate representation of what most people will deal with when going here. It's going to be a lot harder, but these tasks are really short, so that kind of makes up for it. As you can see here, even with max gear and max stats, and I guess I have to super pot up a little bit, but I still haven't been hitting too well at all. Now say you didn't have bandos and you had to go ahead and then maybe wear some D'hide or something like that, then you could just throw on Protect Melee and stand close, and then your D'hide will do the work on the mage attacks, and then the only thing that's really going to hit you too much will be the range-based attacks. So that's the other version if you are someone that is meleeing. If you're going to be ranging, of course, then just stand at a distance. That way you don't get meleeed or have to worry about that aspect of it at all. Once you're standing at a distance, then you'll only have to worry about the range hits and the mage hits as well. You should be protecting range if you're at a distance with either a mage or a range-based setup, since that's going to be the most beneficial to you. Boosting prayers are definitely preferred, I would say here, no matter what you are doing, no matter what level, no matter what setup. Boosting prayers are going to be important because, I mean, as you can tell, the defense on these Mithril Dragons is just absurd, so you're going to want to do everything you can to go ahead and get through that defense. Personally, as a task, I enjoy it a lot. If you're a lower level that's struggling on food and really having to eat a lot, maybe you just go ahead and cancel these, or you just skip out on it whenever you get assigned it. For most people, there's just so few of them that you get assigned, and they're relatively easy to kill. They have somewhat decent loot, and there's really no competition, as you can tell, for the spots, so why would I not take the easy Slayer points given the opportunity? And of course, you get the nice little fun hunt of the Dragon Full Helm that you'll never get, but, you know, just a nice little added option there. So yeah, that is going to be it as far as this Mithril Dragon Slayer guide goes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Anything you want to let me or others know, would love to hear in a comment down below. And on top of that, if you want to see more videos like this as soon as they go live, make sure to subscribe. And with that said, hopefully you have a wonderful day, and peace.